I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, also known as PTSD, in 2004 during my first deployment to Iraq. There was no understanding of it at the time. There was no treatment for it. We didn't talk about our post-traumatic stress disorder. We didn't talk about anything. We just knew that when we were out doing our jobs seemed natural to us. We didn't share much about what we felt about it or how we felt until much later. Some of the symptoms that I experienced were night terrors, night sweats, insomnia, anxiety of crowds, and easily startled. I enlisted in the Marine Corps shortly after 9/11. By February 2004, I was with 2nd Battalion, 11th Marines, and we were deployed to Iraq. We fired artillery, we were security for convoys and an EOD detachment out of Fallujah. It was my first opportunity to see combat. My PTSD came from the anxiety of not knowing what was going to happen, the anxiety of realizing what combat really was and that it affects everybody differently. But by 2006, I had developed such a callous for everything that it was a lot easier to deploy, but it was a lot harder to relate to my family and to relate to the people around me. It wasn't until I was medically retired in 2014 that I realized how thick the callus had got and how much I didn't relate with people around me, and to fully accept the depth of my PTSD and of my issues. Trying to fill a new role as dad and leave the role of deployed Marine behind was a little difficult. My relationship with Marcus was really strained during my deployments and my time in the service. When it wasn't my time training or deployed, I was very distant. Never really connected with him and didn't really know much about him for most of my time in the military. Marcus and I were spending the summer together. It was our first summer together in about 12 years, and we spent it going to baseball games. And a friend of mine contacted me about scuba diving through the Waves Project that introduces disabled veterans into scuba diving. The big thing that my friend emphasized was, well, you can take Marcus with you. It wasn't until I came across the Waves Project that I heard more about the therapeutic properties for PTSD, for neuropathy, and other types of injuries that veterans have. The Waves Project is an organization that stands for Wounded American Veterans Experience Scuba. They are a group of scuba diving enthusiasts, many different levels. One of the founding members had a family member who was a disabled veteran, and when he seen the impact that scuba diving had on him, he knew it was something that he really wanted to get into, teaching veterans how to dive. Diving with my son Marcus has been a great opportunity for us to connect on a level that we haven't had an opportunity to in the past. When we started diving, it opened up a whole new world for us. It's an opportunity for us to do something that we can share together, that we can develop together, because we trust each other more and we understand the necessity to take care of each other while we're diving and what being a dive buddy is about. It's given us a lot more opportunity to strengthen our relationship, and it's something that I'm very grateful for. The idea of remembering everything, being in the desert, the noise of firefights and explosions and radio chatter, the noise of the trucks and the wind blowing around you, and just the incredible noise of everything, to the quiet, calm, peaceful feeling you get underwater. It's quite literally drowns most of the sound out around you. You don't hear much, but what you see is absolutely amazing. It's a completely different world. It's something that not enough people get to experience, but it's something that is the exact opposite of being on deployment. Whether it's a flashback or a memory or a bad dream, the water is a way to come back and recenter yourself. Honestly, what I love most about diving is doing it with my son Marcus and seeing his reaction to new experiences and the curiosity that comes out of it. It's great to see a new world opened up to him and seeing it from a dad's eyes. My hope for the future is to remember that I have one, and to remember that there's always something else that we can be doing. There's always a next chapter, there's always a future. My Patty is another memory for Marcus and I to share. And we've made it our goal to collect as many memories as possible.